Hi guys, how's it going? Let me just get up Facebook, which I have open here. Make sure we have things working. So what I need to work out, because I'm using the sound from the Mac rather than Logic, so I just need to make sure I'm getting sound coming through. So let's try let's just play something. So it looks like it's working. Oops. Where's it gone? Cool. We have sound. All right, cool. So this is going to be very different today. I'm going to do another live stream this afternoon on pushing an idea towards the finish line, but this is going to be something different. I'm going to just do a listening session on the ideas that I've been coming up with. Now, these aren't just over the last couple of weeks, actually, because they date back a little bit further than that. And this is my sketchbook. So this is all the ideas I've got, and I've been labeling them as things I might want to take forward. Some of them are like edits to play out, so some of them are very sample based. Some of them are me jamming on synths. Some of them are me playing the bass and the guitar. But these are all the new ones. And there's going to be there's probably going to be some really quite embarrassing things in here. But I'm going to just play through them, and maybe it'd be interesting to see the thought process of what ideas are going to be taken forward and how I'm going to kind of file them essentially. Let's get cracking. So this splurge column is just little sessions in the morning. This is all thanks to Mike Monday's amazing tuition. So if you're interested in how I didn't come up with it, but how I do this, then check out Mike Monday, because that's where I got it from. So you can see the chronological order. This is something I was kind of trying to obviously I probably, as you know, if you watch my streams, I want to be able to play the keys, the bass and the guitar proficiently. It's a kind of a life goal I have, one of my life goals. So a lot of the time I bring up tracks I like and try and jam over the top or recreate some of the parts, and if I like what I've come up with, I can kind of sample them and build tracks with them, and combine things so it's no longer kind of a copyright. So I think that's what I was doing here. So I don't even know what this is, so let's go. Okay, so these should be longer. Okay, and this is a good incentive for me to actually make sure that I try and arrange my ideas in the short slots that I have. So this might be a 20-minute jam or something, 25 minutes maybe, but I need to flesh it out so it's got some kind of structure to it. But that's what I've got. And I've got some other versions. I don't know why there's other versions of this. What's this one? Okay, so this is me playing the bass. What's this one? Let's try the latest version. So the beats are just super simple, just have something to play on. I can't say this is really doing that much for me. So let's go to labels. And in fact, I'm just not going to label that. I'm going to put it in my sketchbook, and it's just going to be, it's just going to be that. I don't think I'm going to take it forward. This is, I don't know what this is. Let's see. Okay, so this is me playing the guitar, trying to. So it's kind of a boogie kind of vibe. Yeah, I think this could be a kind of a boogie kind of thing. Now this is me singing into my phone, I think, which is kind of embarrassing.
On an escapade.
Yeah, so I'm gonna label that because this is for another track I'm working on, and it could be a remix kind of vibe. Okay, so this is, I was listening to lots of like Maxwell and people like that a while back. What was the 6th of March, and I think I went on a bit of a kind of odyssey of trying to mess with that kind of sound and try and bring some of those features in. So let's see what this is. Yeah, I'm just going to drag that in. I don't think I'm ever going to take that forward. Here's another one, similar kind of vibe. So that I think's got some kind of cool vibes going on. So I need to bookmark this one. So that means that so basically I'll bookmark it because it means that when I go back through my sketchbook and I'm trying to find things I want to work on, I go, oh yeah, I like this one because I've bookmarked it. That's the idea. This is kind of an edit of Chris Rea Josephine. This one is a bit more arranged. I keep wanting to turn it up, and I can't. Maybe I could do it from here. No. I'm using an aggregate device, which is I didn't have any controls. Weird. Maybe I have to do it on the duet itself. Yeah. Okay. There we go. So, DJ intro. So this is more for my DJ sets, really. So I definitely think this has got some potential to be worked on, because it sounds like an easy thing to work on as well. It already sounds kind of cool. I haven't had any bit. It's just a kick and a clap and a simple hat. So I haven't added anything extra to it, and it kind of sounds like it's got a nice build to it. Maybe put some effects on there. I like the chord progression. Quite a lot of space to it. Could be nicely filtered as well. And I think I could probably add in some extra bass, little flourishes in there as well, kind of thing. So this is where I've just chopped up the sample, basically. So we can start, that could be the intro maybe. It needs to be properly warped, as you can hear, because it's all out of time there. But the thing is that, I keep on doing that. Essentially there's no point in me warping, there's no point in me spending ages warping something which I don't want to take forward. That's what I'm trying to get to, the point I'm trying to get to here, is that you want to choose your best ideas to work on. You don't want to spend, I remember actually when I was making breaks, and I had a big track that got signed to a label called Botch It and Scarpa, and it was like the top 10 breaks tracks of the year. And coming up with a follow-up to that track was so hard. I remember working for 3 months, I think, on one track, and then realising that actually just wasn't a very good idea. And that's what you want to avoid at all times, is working on bad ideas. So by coming up with lots of ideas, you make sure you choose the best ones to work on and the ones that are the most exciting. And they could be the hardest to work on because you're excited by them and you don't want to ruin them. But you still don't want to spend ages polishing turds. So there's no point in me warping this, which might take me, who knows how long. Actually, I usually pay someone to warp the tracks now because I don't have time. But I don't want to pay someone to warp something I'm not going to use. So So it makes more sense to go, yeah, actually I want to work on this, then get the guy to warp it, and then it's going to save me a lot of wasted time. So this is obviously just like arranged in a very loopy way. I thought it might have a vocal coming in, but because it does, yeah. I think it's gonna go. So it might not be one I use the vocal for. But anyway, I'm going to take that forward because it sounds like it could be quite easily made. I think it's got nice parts to it. It's going to be good for when we have a DJ again. So I think this is a Doobie Brothers sample, and I've put Ghetto No because it's obviously I think it's a bit heavier for my side project. So let's see what this is. Got to stop turning it up with the force of habit. Yeah, doesn't really do anything for me, that one. So I'm going to take that off. This is a kind of yacht rock sample. This, if I remember, I really liked. So let's see what this is. Yeah, I really like that. I think it's got a cool vibe to it. I love yacht rock kind of stuff. So I'm trying to experiment with kind of like choppy yacht rocky samples rather than straight up disco samples. So kind of almost like a Tiger and Woodsy kind of vibe, but with yacht rock. That's the vibe I get from that, which I really like. Paul Nice idea version 1. Let's see what this is. This might be a bit heavier, I think. Oh, I know what this is. Yeah, this was just me playing around with some new loops. That's lame, and that's not going to get worked on. But I don't get rid of it because who knows, in the future it might be good for something. Shakatra Beats Jam V. I don't know what this is. I think this is that's supposed to say character beats. So this is when I just made my Ableton project you may have seen me using. I think I was just messing around with it. I don't think there's anything in there that I want to do. Nobody gonna. Oh yeah. I think I know what this is. This is probably going to be for Ghetto No. Yeah. So yeah, I've got an idea of something I want to try with that. So I'm going to take that forward. Doesn't sound as good as I remember it sounding, but never mind. Okay, this is a sample-based thing. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Nice soul kind of vibe to it. So we'll bookmark that. Okay, so this is a bit tougher, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's kind of cool. A bit more tech housey, a bit more your side project thing. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to take forward. This is a Melbourne Moor sample I did with, I did an experiment trying to do something like boogie, but with breaks kind of vibes. Yeah, nice beats on that one, nice and tough kind of beats. Yeah, so take that forward. It's hard, these need to be longer than this, so this is a good kick up the backside for me to make sure I try and get the ideas fleshed out a bit more in the short sessions I'm going to do. This is just messing around with replaying some Kashif parts and putting effects on them. So this is there's a Sugar Bytes plugin called Tornado, which you can put effects on, but it's all out of time for some reason. But that's something I've got some more. I haven't uploaded the latest version of that. That's something I'm going to be working on for sure. Thinking New Ravey. Okay, yeah. So this is Evelyn Champagne's King sample. I want to do something like bass music-y for my side project, but with boogie samples. Let's try this one. Yeah, so kind of like a DJ Zinc kind of vibe, but with some kind of boogie samples as well. That's kind of cool. Yeah, so that can get that can be looked at. Enchantment dramatic version. Let's try this one. Nice beats. I'm gonna bookmark it on that. I literally don't even remember doing that. Do da do. Okay. So obviously it's missing parts because I'm supposed to bounce something in, but let's have a listen. Yeah, that sounds kind of interesting. Could be like a duck saucy kind of vibe. Could be for my side project maybe. New bullet, criticize. This is what I did on the weekend, I think, or maybe on Friday. Yeah, I like that. I think that's going to be something I might do. I got it twice, maybe. So it's like a kind of old hacienda kind of vibe, which is cool. I don't know where the delete option is. Maybe archive. So I'm going to bookmark that as well. That's maybe going to be for another little alias I might have, because I always like that kind of like indie, I don't know, like Manchester kind of vibe. So yeah, I might set up another little name for that. I'll be around New Ghetto Now version 2. This is what I think I did yesterday. Yeah, it's kind of all right. Needs something else, but yeah, it's got some potential. So I'll bookmark that, put it into here. So now I've just added to my bookmarks list. So it's all different things I want to work on at some point. So it means that I'm never going to run out of ideas really, because if I'm constantly coming up with new ideas, not necessarily every day, but maybe every other day, then it means that I'm constantly filling this sketchbook up with raw materials that I can take into these other columns and finally get into the release category. And this is not the sum of all my work in my career. I only started doing this like maybe at the beginning of the year, and actually there's stuff that I haven't put into this column which should be in this column, and I've got quite a lot of music coming out which is obviously in this release category. So some of these tracks are coming out in the next few months. There's also library music stuff in here. So this is library music, this is library music. So it's kind of got all the music that I'm doing across the board really. So yeah, so this is the discover thing, is where I'm trying to get the tracks, trying to work out what the vibe is going to be. And some of these are taking too long actually. This one's been hanging around for ages and just needs to get finished. Some of these need to have labels on them. So yeah, that means it's going to be a draft. Yeah, this one needs to get finished as well. But yeah, so that's my listening session done. So what I'm going to try and do from now on, I've been trying to think of a way of always coming up with new ideas all the time, always taking those ideas through to being a bit more finished, and always making sure I'm doing the mixing and finishing things off. So I'm going to try and do like alternate days, maybe 2 sessions, one which is going to be like what's called a splurge, or coming up with an idea, and like a kind of a drafting session where I'm taking ideas that I've got a direction for and getting them through into being kind of done. And then the next day I'll do a discover session, which is taking like the kind of things you just heard, like very basic ideas, and trying to get them into knowing what they're going to be. And then maybe a mix session as well, which is kind of release. So there's no point in mixing things that you're not going to release. That's another thing, is I don't want to waste time mixing tracks that are never going to get released. So I want to make sure that I'm only mixing this stuff here. So that's mixed actually. That's mixed. That's mixed. This is the next one on the kind of conveyor belt for mixing, so I can do a session on that as well. So that's what I'm going to try and do, and that will be tied in with the live streams. I'm trying to live stream everything now because I think it's great for people to see, someone at work, and also it's great for me because it really focuses me. But yeah, I think tomorrow I'm going to try and set up a new plugin called Listen To, so I can do collaboration with Chris, who I work with sometimes, who I did Love Shine Down with. So yeah, maybe tomorrow I won't be able to do as much live streaming, but we'll see. Okay, cool. So that's my listening session done. Yeah, some cool stuff in there. There's actually stuff that I was a bit more excited about when I was working on it, but that is that's how it is. And sometimes it's just the mood you're in at the time. Like maybe the mood I'm in now, I'm not quite in a kind of hype mood, so so it doesn't sound as good. It doesn't necessarily mean that it isn't good or it won't be good by the time it's finished. Cool, guys. That's my listening session done. So I'm going to go and have something to eat now, and then I'm going to go back on and live stream a session on this Back in the High Life track that I was working on last week. So yeah, please join me back for that if you're about.